Hello everyone and welcome to another Tribe Forex Power Hour. Today is Thursday, February 6, 2014. I'm Marcello and with me here is Nino, FX trader. He's a pro Forex trader just like myself. Can you say hi, Nino, please?
Hi everyone, how are you doing?
Great. Heard you had an awesome session yesterday. You guys, or this morning I should say, that you guys made a ton of pips. Over 100 pips were made yesterday, up to 120 odd pips were made yesterday in the live trade room that you manage over there. So here at Tribe Forex. So I wanted to acknowledge you for that. That's pretty awesome. Anyway,
Thank you.
well, of course, thank you. So trading for success. This is what we're all about here at Tribe Forex. So I'm going to talk briefly about how it works. Then I'm going to go into my daily market analysis. And then we may review a trade or two as we get going here. So first of all, here's our formula for success. We do our 5 p.m. market analysis to determine bias. So it's got to be after 5 p.m. Sometime after 5 p.m. we will do our daily analysis. We do it after the close of the New York market, the beginning of the Asian market, because that is the close of our trading day. Then we can analyze the market and maybe figure out where it wants to go, the probability of it moving in one direction or the other. Each night, we have the opportunity to take a set and forget it trade. That is a trade that you take that is indifferent to whatever formations may be on the chart. It's based on our bias. We'll take it in one direction, and we'll have set take profits and stop losses, okay? Or number three, or number three, which is the trade room, which is managed by our pro Forex trader Nino in the New York and the European session. So the European session from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. and then the New York session from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. He manages that trade room and basically gives people the opportunity to make money with him as he trades. So you get to see that on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Okay, so that's how that works. So two ways to execute a trade: take a set and forget it trade, or day trade in the direction of our bias using pods for bigger profits. Okay, so how have we done? This is basically an equity curve showing a Tribe Forex bias in the past. This shows a profit factor of 3.43 and a win ratio of 83.5%. Okay, so let's actually take a look at what we actually did do in the market, where we are in the market. Okay, so yesterday, guys, maybe this is the wrong chart. Okay, yesterday, guys, we had the opportunity to take a buy trade here on the euro dollar. And actually, if you were in the live trade room with Nino, who manages it, obviously, you would have seen and would have been able to take a trade that netted about 100 pips, a little bit more than that. I'd say about 120. I believe it was 129 pips possible on the day, and they got in at a very, very good price at 1.3489, and really followed price all the way up to 13600. So plus 13600. That is a very, very good day, especially when you're taking a trade that may only be for a few pips. Okay, so that could give you tremendous profit on the day. Okay, as far as that's concerned. Even if it's a 2-to-1, 3-to-1 ratio, excellent return. Okay, so yesterday, what happened was, one second, guys. Okay, so what happened was that we had a trade on the euro dollar. Now you'll notice that I have all of these lines on my chart. I've got Fibonacci's, I've got EMAs on my chart, and I've got trend lines. Well, for us yesterday, what was most important was this trend line. Okay, now this lower trend line has shown tremendous strength. Now, if you want me to get into the analysis of this, then you can absolutely go to the previous day, which would be the February 5th, 2014. Go to tribeforex.com, go in the trade video section, and look at our last February 5th, 2014 video, and you will see my analysis for that. So basically we said that to look for price to bounce off of that 134.92 area, and the market went to 134.82, okay? And then it just took off and went to in the complete opposite direction, okay? And so that is exactly what we expected. I think I have, yeah, there it goes. I actually have the actual trade that Nino, this is actually from your video that I had taken. All right, and so basically this shows the trade that Nino got in at 134.89. Okay, and you can see the amount of, there wasn't even any time. This is a 15-minute chart. If you didn't get in at that price on a limit order, you would not have gotten in on this trade. Okay, so really the market just takes off. It really touches right there on the trend line, right below the trend line, and it just takes off to the upside for 129 pip potential profit. Good job again on that, Nino. That is our set and forget it trade. Okay, that would have been the only way, the best way to get in on that particular trade. Okay, and so you can see it would have been right below here, really took you all the way up to 13600 and beyond. Okay, and so that's what we do here. That's what happened on the euro dollar. Where are we right now? Okay, so guys, if you'll notice here, there's a blue moving average here that's above us, and this is our, there are two things going on there. There's a blue moving average, which is our 50 EMA, and there's also a Bollinger Middle band here, okay? And so here's what I want you to keep in mind here, is that the market is using this area, this middle Bollinger band and this 50 EMA as an area of support and resistance. Now, guys, based off of the fact that we just had this major move up, it makes sense that we would think that price would be able to move up, continue up. Don't forget that tomorrow is non-farm payroll, so we've got to be very, very careful there. Personally, I'm not going to be trading. Nino's not going to be trading unless there is a really good trading opportunity that pops up as a result of non-farm payroll. We may very well get in on there. Right now, we have a buy. You know, you got to look at this and look for a buy here. So let me look at the weekly and show you exactly what I'm talking about. So as you can see here, we had basically we bounced off the upper area. That was what we expected. Price comes down, and price looks like it's moving back up. Okay, price has moved up again. We may very well see a retest of that 13700 area on our trend line, because that's where price looks like it wants to go. Now, if we get really good news on the US dollar, we could see a breakout, because we are in this apex, guys. When you see this flag formation, when you see a support area and a resistance area come together like they are, they converge, then that's when you have a some form of a breakout that is imminent in many cases. Okay, so right now we are in that red zone, if you will. We are in this area where we could see a breakout in one direction or the other. Anytime now that can happen. Right now we're still bouncing off of this lower trend area, and so basically, guys, we can look for price to get back up here. There's no reason for us not to see price move up a little bit more. And so for that reason, because of the strength of the support area that we've been looking at for the last few days, right now I have no choice but to call it a buy. I'm not going to be, you know, it's not my strongest signal. Okay, it's not what, you know, what I believe is the strongest signal for me as far as that's concerned. Oops. Yeah, I would dare say that's a buy. Okay, so yesterday, guys, on the pound dollar, we called also a buy. We called a buy on the pound dollar for good reason. We said that this yellow line here is going to be our support area, 162.50. You can see that price came down to 162.71, bounced right up. And you know what I said also? I would really like you guys to watch this video because it is really good. On February 5th, when I made this video, what I said was, specifically, was that this was going to be an area of support, but somehow we kept on. 62.50 was our area of support, 62.57, but that we kept on closing at or below this trend line, which means that that trend line was our resistance area. We're still doing the same thing, guys. Basically, we once again bounced off of that low at 162.57, and in price once again closes below this trend line. Okay, so now it's still support. So do we have, it's an ambiguous signal. And I would dare say that the same thing about the euro. But, you know, it's definitely more biased toward a buy. It's just an ambiguous signal for the time being. So we do have maybe a continuation. If you do see a break of 162.50, clearly we're going to be moving back down, at which point we can look for some play at 161.86. If market slices through that, then that's good, because that means that we'll probably get a retest of this 161.82 area and then find our way down to the 200 EMA down here. So what am I looking for here? I think it's ambiguous. As clearly it's ambiguous, and the reason I say that is because we continually have this. This is a consolidation. Price has not been able to work its way out of that range. The high and the low, all of these candles are almost completely identical. They're almost identical. And so, you know, there you have it. So for this reason, I'm not going to give you a call on the pound dollar. I personally think that it could, I mean, we had good looking reversal candles at first, but now we have very conflicting signals here. We have the support area, which has been confirmed again, but then we also have the resistance area, which has also been confirmed again. Furthermore, that's just a consolidation back and forth, no real movement on the day. Now, did we make profit off of this? Absolutely, we could have made some profit off of this. I'll go down to lower time frame and you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Look at it here. Nice reversal signal, comes right back down and gives you another shot at it at the bottom here and really pushes its way back up to the top. Okay, so there are opportunities. There were some, as far as an engulfing candle, a hammer was concerned. There was a shot at it, but we did close below that area, and so we've got to be looking for, we can't have a clear signal as far as that's concerned. Okay, so yesterday I said the New Zealand was one of the pairs that we did not really have a clear signal on, and one of the things I said was that we're bouncing between the 50 EMA and the 200 EMA, and for that reason we couldn't make a clear call there, because between two areas of really strong support and resistance, and we looked for more interplay in that area, and it was ambiguous. And as you can see, the market thought the very same thing. That's exactly what they did. They pushed price up, they brought it back down, and somehow it closes within that 50 EMA and that 200 EMA handle. Okay? All right, so our Aussie dollar. Now, this was interesting. Aussie dollar. Gonna get rid of this. All right, so our Aussie dollar really just pushed up against our trend line here. Okay, so we have this trend line. We wanted to see some play at, let's see if I can get that trend line there. About, I believe it was 89.40 is what we said. Yeah, 89.30. 89.30, we're looking for some play there for a price to potentially come back in. If price passed it high, then we're going to continue to move forward. And that's principally what we saw. Now, what do we have here? We've got a break of the 50 EMA. We've got a break of the trend line here. Okay, we have a close above the trend line and the 50 EMA. For that reason, we have to look at this to be a continuation of buy. Continuation. Now, look what we have here. I will remark that you can see our areas of resistance. Our resistance area here is quite high on this Aussie dollar. Okay, so it's taking us back up to 9,200. We're currently at 89.50. Unless we see a reversal, we are going to continue to look for price to continue to move up, because we do not have another area of resistance to prevent this thing from moving all the way back up. What I will say is that we may get a retest. We may get a retest of this trend line at 89.14. All right, so actually the close of tomorrow will actually give us a very good direction for the rest of the month. Okay, so we'll see what this Aussie dollar does. If it gives us a reversal candle, a railroad tracks formation, and really closes back in here, then we're going to look for a price to continue to move down. Okay, if not, then you know, we could get a retest here and then a close high. That means there's a strong probability that price will continue to move up. All right, so for the time being, I've got to take a buy here. I'm going to be looking for these areas here, 89.22 and 88.51 as areas of support. Okay, if we get a close below that, then we're moving right back into that channel, and we should see a move back down on that. Okay. All right. So a dollar CAD. Basically, guys, this dollar CAD has been in consolidation the entire time. Depending on the news that comes out tomorrow, we may come out of this consolidation. So if you look all the way back to January 23rd, basically all these candles have stayed more or less inside of each other. So there's no trend as far as that's concerned here. If we do have a strong, some strong dollar news, we very well may see price take off and move further up, if you will. If we see weak dollar news, obviously we're going to see a drop. May see a break out of this channel that we have created here. The last 4 bars specifically have been in a very tight consolidation. Okay, so if the news is not eventful at all, it's exactly what we expected. Look for plays at the highs and the lows of this dollar CAD. Okay. So you're going to look for a play at 1.1115, 1.1115, and really about 110.50, 110.40. Okay, on the so between 110.40 and 111.20 more or less is where we will see continuation of this play. If it's completely uneventful, we have no real news. Look at price, bouncing between that area again. If we do have good news, and that will tell us where price is going to go from here, because it is waiting and is primed for a breakout in one direction or the other. Okay, guys, we also said to be looking on the euro yen. Euro yen, we'd be looking for a buy, and that's exactly what happened. I said, watch for a bounce off the 61.8 or off of the trend line. We got a bounce off the 61.8 at 136.76. Let me go to a lower time frame so I can show you how that looked. All right, so you can see here it's the very same thing. This is our 61.8. Price went right down to it and used it as some form of a trampoline, if you will, and just took off and moved right up completely. Now look, guys, from where we're standing, we could see a bounce off of 138.40 if price wants to continue to move up, and then a continuation to the upside. I think news will play in on this pair as well. Same thing here, guys. Our call was to look for this trend line to be telling. Okay, and this trend line did hold. It was a strong area of support here, and you can see that price moved up on the pound yen. So we had buy there, a buy on the euro yen, and we had a buy on the dollar yen. And you can see here that the dollar yen never did come back down to that 100.78 area to bounce off of. It just continued north, and that was also our call for a buy on the dollar yen. So we also have a buy again on the dollar yen, buy on the dollar yen, buy on the pound yen. Certainly, I think the strongest one is the pound yen buy, which would potentially bounce off of 165.95. So look at about 166.00 for a bounce off north on the pound yen. That's probably my strongest signal right now that I'm looking at. And you may look for a bounce on the euro yen at 138.40. Last but not least, the dollar Swiss. Now look, here's what I drew on the dollar Swiss. I drew a lower support area for a trend line and an upper support, an upper resistance area. Okay, what did price do? Price played in between these two areas. So we're walking into the apex potentially tomorrow, or walking into Monday Asian session, European session. We could see finally a breakout of this dollar Swiss consolidation. Look at that, guys. I mean, that is beautiful. If you want to look at how I drew these lines in the first place, these trend lines, just simply go to our last session, February 5th, 2014, and you will see all of this, and you'll see how it all played out. We seem to have gone, be batting at a very, very high percentage here as far as the these currency pairs are concerned. So for now, ambiguously, I would dare say, tentatively, I would say the euro dollar is a buy. Pound dollar is still in consolidation, is a consolidation zone. I'd say the same thing about the New Zealand. Aussie dollar is a buy. Oops. Dollar CAD is going to be based off of news coming out tomorrow, and you can see that it's in consolidation. So if there's no really favorable news in one direction or the other, look for play between 110.45 is what I said, and 111.20, 111.20, 111.15, 111.20. Okay, euro yen. I think we had a buy looking for a bounce off of right around 138.50, 138.40, 138.50. Pound yen was our strongest buy, and that bounce could very well come off of 165.95. And the dollar yen, it looks like a buy as well, with potential resistance at 102.66. Okay, and the dollar Swiss. Sorry, the dollar Swiss as well. We're getting play between 90.33 and 89.62. So about a 60 to 70 pip range there to play with, but it's all going to be determined by the news that comes out on the U.S. dollar tomorrow. So look for non-farm payroll. Look for some movement around there on the dollar pairs. Okay, strongest pair I think is a pound yen buy, and so look at that. Let's take a look at this pound dollar. Yeah, so the pound dollar has just been vacillating, so I don't know what's going to happen there, guys. Honestly, on a day like this, you kind of just want to wait and see what comes out with non-farm payroll, and then make your decisions from there. Nino, do you have anything else to add?
No, excuse me. No, not really. Tomorrow, like you said, it's going to be our day. We don't really trade in the market tomorrow, so basically just be looking to see what type of setup we're going to get leading into our next week.
All right, awesome, great. So guys, please join us at tribeforex.com if you're not already there, and then join us, of course, on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern Time, and 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Time for Nino's live trade room that he has, where people are picking up big profits. He's got a good following there. Join us there, and we will see you next week for more of the Tribe Forex Power Hour. All the best.